Welcome. Welcome to Clerk of Court Live. My name is Anthony McPherson, and I'm the Chief Information Officer for the Honorable Dorothy Brown, the Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County, Illinois. I will be your host tonight. You may view Clerk of Court Live on CAN TV, Channel 21, or online at cantv.org/hotline. This is a live call-in show, so we welcome questions and comments from our audience. The number is 312-738-1060, so feel free to call in at any time during the show. So I want to draw your attention to contact information for the clerk's office. We're headquartered in the Daly Center at 50 West Washington and the Loop, with other locations throughout Cook County. Our telephone number is 312-603-5031, and our website is cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. Feel free to contact us at any time on any of those sources. So today I am proud to introduce a very special guest, the Honorable Dorothy Brown, Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County, who will share information with you about technological solutions and innovations throughout the clerk's office. Welcome, Clerk Brown.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to start out, Clerk Brown, if you don't mind. Many of our guests in the audience may have heard of the Clerk of the Circuit Court, but they may not really know the functions of the Clerk of the Circuit Court, and they may actually mix it up with other agencies that are also referred to as the Clerk Office. So can you start out by sharing the functions of the Clerk of the Court?
Okay. So thank you. And Anthony happens to be our Chief Information Officer, as he, I'm sure, has indicated here, and we're happy to have him to help us implement our technological advancements in the office. But the Clerk of the Court is the official record keeper of all judicial matters that brought into the Cook County court system. We get confused with David Orr's office, which is the county clerk, which actually keeps the records for the county board. They also do the elections and that sort of thing. They also give you your vital records, your birth certificates, your death certificates. Then there is the city clerk, which keeps the records for the city council. But I am the circuit court clerk. So I am the record keeper for the circuit court. So that's how you think about it. Anything that you do, any kind of court record, whether it's civil or criminal, juvenile, whatever that is, it goes through my office.
Okay, that's great. So,
and we have a caller.
Hi, welcome, caller. What is your name and your question?
My name is Stanley. And my wife likes the Clerk of the Circuit Court's office. She is a paralegal and always gets good service. Now, you have mobile app?
Yes, we do.
How does it work?
Well, all you have to do, and you can do it on your iPad or your cell phone, and you go into your Apple Store or your Google Play Store, and you download the Clerk of Court app, and once you download it, you can get to our traffic cases. You can look up your traffic case. You can look up any civil case. You can search it. You can find our different locations. It's a phenomenal app, and you can see when your court case is to be held. So it's a great tool for you to have at your fingertips.
Great question, caller. I encourage you to go to the Apple Store or Google Play and download the app as soon as possible.
And we're one of only 4 clerks, of course, in the entire country that has an actual app for you to search your court cases.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so let's move on. Clerk Brown, so you have been the longest-serving Clerk of the Circuit Court for Cook County. So people may or may not know that. They've heard of your name, but they may not know about really who you are as Clerk of Court and what your vision is for the clerk's office. Do you mind sharing that with them?
Well, when I took this office, I really set out to bring it into the 21st century. But I have, and I used then and I still utilize 5 strategic initiatives to run that office. 21st century technology, improving customer service, operational efficiency, financial accountability, and training and developing the employees. That's how I operate this office on an ongoing basis. And it's worked throughout my time there. Yes, I am the longest serving clerk of the court in the history of this county. I am also the first African American to ever hold this office, and also the longest serving county-wide executive office elected African American elected official as well.
So you just recently mentioned that one of your top pillars is technology, 21st century technology, so it's one of your 5 pillars. So can you tell the audience more about the top priority technology initiatives that fall underneath that pillar?
Yeah, so when I took office, the first thing I had to do was bring it into the 20th century because we had 2 areas where they were still actually writing the cases into the docket book. So that was my probate division and my county division. I was able to automate those divisions. And then I also had to change out all of the computers because they had what they call green screen dump terminals. So I brought in thin clients and regular PCs, put in email technology. They didn't have email technology. I put in voicemail technology, which was not a real, a technology that had been out there for a while. And so then from there, I put in a brand new cashiering and a cashiering system so that people could, so that our cashiering system interfaces with our general ledger. I saw that at one of my large clients, which was Marshall Fields at that time. And so I wanted that in place. And then from there, we started looking at putting in an imaging and document management system, which now we have over probably 300 million documents that are electronically imaged, and start working towards electronic filing. Now, I've had electronic filing on a permissive basis since 2009, and now, of course, this coming Sunday, July 1st, we will be putting in mandatory e-filing. So whether you're a pro se individual representing yourself, or if you are an attorney, you will have to electronically file your documents to us.
That's awesome. So a lot done in a very short period of time.
Yes.
And they need to give you more credit for all those great innovations that you've implemented. So you've mentioned electronic filing of court documents. And as you mentioned earlier, you implemented the first e-filing system in Cook County and one of the first throughout the state of Illinois in 2009. And now we're moving to eFile Illinois. Can you tell them more about eFile Illinois? They've probably heard the term EFSP, which is thrown around a lot in reference to eFile Illinois. Can you tell them the important pieces of eFile Illinois, the difference between...
I think we have a caller.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hi, caller. What's your name and your question, please?
Hi, good evening. I'm calling to find out. I would like to file some documents on Monday, but I only have cash. Is that okay?
Well, if you're coming into the office, then you're going to have to bring a debit card. So you cannot you have to have a debit card or a credit card. So you probably will have to stop by your fellow Walgreens and get yourself a debit card, one of those cards from there, and then you're able to come in and file. So in a few months, our electronic filing vendor, which was given to us by the Illinois Supreme Court, has indicated probably in about 3 or 4 months, they will actually have a workstation where people can actually bring in cash. But for now, on Monday, you will need a debit or credit card or an electronic check. You can also use an electronic check.
Okay. It looks like we have another caller. Hi, caller. Your name and your question, please.
Hello, my name is Diane. I have a question for you concerning electronic filing. If I electronically file a document on Monday at 7 p.m., will I get Monday or Tuesday's filing date?
Great question, Diane. You will actually, now we won't still be in the office. Our office closes at 4:30, even though I'm working on having a second shift. But for documents filed during regular business hours and then up to 11:59 on a regular business day. Whatever time you file that document, you will get that time as your filing time when in fact we accept your case. If in fact your document is filed after 11:59 and before 8:30 a.m. when we open for business again, or on a holiday, a weekend or holiday, then you will get 8:30 a.m. for the next business day when we're open for business. So to answer your question, if you file at 7 p.m., we probably won't accept it possibly until the next morning at 8:30, but you will get that 7 p.m. filing time.
That was a great question, caller. We have some smart callers out there, great audience. So let's finish the conversation about eFile Illinois, and then we'll talk about some other things. So EFSPs and just in general, are there any other things about eFile Illinois that you think that the caller should know about prior to 7/1?
Well, in order to electronically file on Monday, you will have to select an electronic file service provider. That is the EFSP, Electronic File Service Provider. Tyler Technologies, who powers our electronic filing system, have actually approved or certified up to 12 electronic file service providers, and you will have to select one of those. You'll be able to come to my website at cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. Go into our portal for electronic filing. Once you get in there, you will be able to either select Tyler Technologies, which is eFile Illinois, or select one of the other 11, if you will, service providers. Now, they are different. They have different charges. eFile Illinois is free, but eFile Illinois does not have bulk filing. If you're a bulk filing person, bulk filing is more than one case. You can do it through Tyler, but you have to file each case one at a time. There are some of the other eFile service providers actually have bulk filing. So you have to look at their website, determine which ones fit your particular need, and also see what those costs are, and then e-file through one of those electronic file service providers. Once you submit it through their website, then it will be coming to the electronic file manager, which is Tyler Technologies, and then it will be submitted to our office when we will review it and accept and reject it. But whenever you submit it to the electronic file service provider, that time, if it's during regular business hours or up to 11:59 on a regular court day, you will get that time as your filing time.
That's awesome. It's good. Great information, Clerk.
So it's a little bit more complicated than our other vendor. You just simply file with them and we receive the record, and then that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a little more complex than the previous process. So to that point, if a self-represented litigant wanted to file through eFile Illinois, but they didn't know what to do, and they came down to your office, how could they get help?
Well, one thing that the Illinois Supreme Court provided is that we will provide e-files service centers. And so you can come to the Daily Center, or you can go to any district, or even over at the Domestic Violence Court, because orders of protections are included in the civil order of protections, civil no contact, civil no stalking. Those things are included in this electronic filing, mandatory electronic filing come this Monday. So we're going to have e-filing centers. We have one in the lower level of the Daily Center, LL12, and then we have terminals on every floor in our particular divisions, and we have them out in our suburban districts as well, and we will have customer service reps helping you as a self-represented litigant to maneuver through the e-filing system. Now, you will need an email address. If you don't have an email address, we actually will be helping you to go into our browser, our internet, and either get a Yahoo or a Gmail or whatever email address that you want. Make sure that that email address is live, and then help you to walk you through as to how to electronically file your document.
Awesome. Looks like we have another caller. Caller, your name and question, please.
Oh,
good evening. My name is Marie, and I'm an attorney, and I've been using OLIS, I guess the old OLIS system, for a while. And I heard through the grapevine, I haven't registered yet for the new system, and I'm going to, but I heard through the grapevine that we won't be able to serve summonses through the new system. If that's true, can you tell me why?
Well, your grapevine is absolutely correct. You will have to bring your own summons to the sheriff, to whatever courthouse in which you're filing with, and have the and deliver that, hand deliver that printed out summons to the sheriff. I think the sheriff is even looking at possibly in the future where you can email it to him and to their office, or e-file it, if you will, to them, and then they would print it out and find a way for you. They would also include a way for you to pay for it. Now, the reason why that's the case is because e-file Illinois is a vendor that was selected by the Illinois Supreme Court. As you know, with my system that I had in place, Online Information Systems Services, which is OLIS, they had that in place. I required it. When we did the RFP, when they were building the system, I felt that it did not make any sense to have you electronically file and then have to get in your car and come down to the courthouse to bring it over to the sheriff. So that was a convenience that I required them to build in. Well, this is a statewide system, e-file Illinois. It is not something that has been required to be built in, and in order for it to be built in, it would have to be approved by the Supreme Court. So if you want that going forward, it would take them a while to build it, but if you really want that to be incorporated, you would need to actually send a letter of request to the Illinois Supreme Court so they can then have Tyler Technology to build that in for you.
Caller, great question. You mentioned at the beginning of your question that you hadn't registered. We encourage you to do so as soon as possible with one of those 12 ESFPs that the clerk mentioned earlier. So, Clerk Brown, we just talked about giving support to pro se litigants, which really the information you mentioned applies to both attorneys and pro se litigants. But I have some attorney friends who are very smart, and they don't want to come down to the clerk's office at 50 West Washington. They believe that they can figure this out, but they want to know if there are some tips or aids or some training that we provide that can help them figure it out themselves.
Well, they can go online. I mean, we'll have a link there for the webinars for e-file Illinois. They'll just go through our e-file portal, and then they'll be able to link on and train themselves. Very simple. I think even as they're walking themselves through, most of the registration is registration. You know, if you're registered to be able to buy something on Amazon, you've registered. There's a few things that attorneys need a little bit more than just registered on Amazon. Don't get me wrong. But you know, you put your static information in there. But two of the things that you need for registering for electronically filing is your attorney. Or your attorney ARDC number, Attorney Registration Commission, Disciplinary Commission number that you get every year, and your attorney code, Cook County Attorney Code for Cook County. So you're going to need your ARDC number and your Cook County Attorney Code to actually register. Actually, as a matter of fact, I believe you only need your ARDC number to register, but when you file a case in Cook County, you're going to need your Cook County Attorney Code. Right. So the basic information, static information, you'll need name, address, and phone number, that sort of thing, and email address, of course, and then your ARDC number to register. But when you get ready to file into Cook County, not other counties, we have that's unique to Cook County, you will need your Cook County Attorney Code. And we need it because if you don't put it in, we can't connect that to you, and we will have to reject your filing and have you put that in and then have you send it back to us. But guess what? If we reject it and you just miss your statutory limitation date, that's a problem for you. Now, you may be able to get before a judge and have him to non-proton it back, explain that, the e-file system was new to you, you just didn't understand it, and therefore, convince the judge that that was just a mistake.
Great information. So, Clerk Brown, I want to make a quick shift. So we talked a lot about e-file Illinois. There's tons of initiatives that are going on in the clerk's office. Can you spend just a minute or two telling the audience about your vision as it relates to technology in the clerk's office and some changes that are coming down the line?
Wow, thank you for asking, Anthony, because we have a revolutionary change that's getting ready to take place, and that is our brand new case management system, which will go into place first for the criminal division. A lot of people are having problem with the criminal justice system, and I believe in criminal and social justice, and I just want to throw that in there. But the criminal justice system and the reform that needs to take place, our new case management system is all a part of that. We want to be able to have individuals to have better reporting. We want a judiciary to have better reports to come out so that they can manage those cases, do a better job of getting people through those cases. So we're going to have a brand new case management system for criminal, civil, juvenile, child protection, for the entire court system. Great reports coming out of there, much easier to use, and because it's powered by Tyler Technologies, it's going to be an Odyssey case management system powered by Tyler Technologies, who are the same individuals putting in our e-file system. Once that goes in, e-filing into the clerks of the court for Cook County and the case information being available instantaneously will be even better.
Okay, that's great. So audience, I'd like to take a second to draw your attention to some information here that I think is important that you should know about. So the clerk mentioned about e-file Illinois. It mentioned that it starts July 1st, which is Sunday. We'll be ready for you guys. You're ready to electronically file, but not until Monday in our office, but online you can start there. But this is some great information. Take a quick look at it as we wrap up. But I'd like to close now and like to say that first I want to thank Clerk Dorothy Brown, and there we are. I'd like to thank the Honorable Dorothy Brown for sharing information about all of the technology innovation that's happening throughout the clerk's office today. I'd like to also thank her for providing these sessions, these successful CAN TV sessions this season. There's been a lot of great information. We hope that you found some benefit from these sessions. Lots of information, more information on our website, so feel free to go to our website to take a look at, and gain that information, or also go to YouTube, because the CAN TV sessions are there. You can watch them later on, but feel free to do so and get additional information. We really appreciate you as an audience. We are here from you, and we look forward to providing this type of important information to you next season and beyond. So I'd like to thank you guys very much. And it looks like we actually have about a minute left. So since we have a minute left, I thought we were almost done. I do want to ask you one additional question. Technology is important to almost every area, every industry. What makes it important to the court system?
Well, it's important to the court system to have information to be accurate, timely, and complete, and so that the court system so that we can make sure that justice is performed in the most efficient and effective manner for all people. And that's why we have our customer service centers also, because we want everyone to have fair and access to justice. And so it's going to just revolutionize the way we do court cases, help them to go in a more timely fashion, And so it's very, very important for the court system.
That's great. And I think with your vision and with a core group of technologists who have great expertise, we're going to help you with that vision and see that vision through. And audience, you're going to see some really great
I want to thank you, Anthony,
things.
and your staff for all that you do and the hard work that you do and how you have worked so hard to put this e-filing system in and the Tyler Technology people. I want to mention Zephyr Allen, who just a great young man who has been working so very hard. I've given him a hard time, but he's taken it and he's helped us to get it done. So
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. So all, thank you very much. We really appreciate your time. We hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care.